Do you like to read to your baby? I hope you do, because there are a lot of books out there for babies, and many of them are good books. But if you're like I was, you only have so much time with your baby and only so much money to spend on books. So that means you should only read the great books to your baby. So how do you decide which ones are great books and worthy of your time with your baby, and not to mention your money? Hi, if you're new here, I'm Susan Stephenson, violinist and teacher, here at my online studio, Beautiful Heart Musical Journey, Babies and Beyond, where I teach your musical baby class and Suzuki violin lessons. And one of the goals that I have for this channel is to guide you and your child to become lifelong learners together and to develop a deeper relationship with each other through musical activities. So be sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any future videos. Well, many parents think that a cute and colorful book is a good one, but often it doesn't turn out to be as engaging as they thought it would be for their baby. So do you stand at the book rack in the store or at the library or at the thrift shop and wonder which one to buy? It's time-consuming to go through book after book like that. However, in this video, I'm going to give you 7 tips for choosing a great book that's just right for your baby. Now, you can continue to just keep grabbing a book off the shelf because it's cute. But first of all, that's wasting money. Second of all, it's wasting your precious time with your baby. Yes, it can take a little extra time to look through a book, but if you use the 7 tips I'm going to share with you, you'll soon be able to quickly decide if a book is great or not. And the tips I'm going to share with you are the same ones that I use when I choose a book to read to the parents and their babies in my online Your Musical Baby class. Your Musical Baby class meets for 1 hour each week. And at the end of every class, I choose a book to read aloud. And I want to make sure that that book has the qualities that will guide your baby to develop language and literacy skills, and that it's worth our precious time. Most of the time, qualities of a great book are usually pretty evident in the story, so you shouldn't have too much of a problem deciding whether to read it or not. And as I mentioned before, cute and colorful just aren't enough. This book must capture your baby's attention and your attention as well. And it should engage your baby's mind and senses with interesting ideas and lessons to be learned. Quality books offer educational concepts, but they will also be incredibly entertaining and pleasant for you and your baby to read together. Now, choosing a great book for your baby is not really difficult. Let's think a moment about how you choose a book to read. You probably scan the first couple of pages to see if it captures your attention immediately. And if it does, you likely decide to read it and won't be disappointed. You can use that same method to choose a read-aloud book for your baby. I would suggest checking the time it takes you to read through the book, because if it takes more than 3 to 5 minutes, it's too long for infants and small babies. Save it for later when they're toddlers. And if it keeps your attention all the way through, chances are it will keep your baby's attention as well. So you and your baby can have fun growing, reading, and learning together. So tip number 1 is decide if the book is engaging enough and not more than 5 minutes long. Tip number 2 is pay attention that the subject matter or the theme and the texts of the story are appropriate for your child's age. Tip number 3 is notice whether the pictures are clear and colorful and stand out from the background of the page. Avoid those busy-looking illustrations for right now. Tip number 4 is be sure the book is strong and easy for your child to handle. Think board books or cloth books. Tip number 5 is it's important that the words, pictures, and overall design of the book make sense altogether. Tip number 6 is look for a text that has rhythm and or rhyme, as well as patterns and repetition of the words and the pictures. And finally, tip number 7, you know those touch and feel sensory books? Those are great for any age baby, but they're especially good for newborns and infants. Your musical baby class is a Suzuki Early Childhood Education, SECE, we call it for short. It's a SECE program. And I select books from the SECE book list, which were chosen based on the checklist that I just gave you. These books were also chosen with diversity, equity, and inclusion in mind. And the list keeps growing. That's the best part. Baby class teachers add new books to the list all the time. And in my newest blog post, you'll find a sampling of books that are chosen from the SECE book list, as well as my own selections. And just to give you an idea, there are 3 Eric Carle books, one of them, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Goodnight Moon, Brown Bear, What Do You See by Bill Martin Jr., and Chicka Chicka Boom Boom by Bill Martin Jr. and John Archambault. And I have put the blog post link in the description below the video so that you can see the entire list. So do check out the blog post to find this book list and start to use it to create your baby's own library. And there are several ways to do this. If you're expecting, board books are always good to put on your gift registry list. And of course, buying books online is convenient and usually less expensive than most other sources. However, I encourage you to support your local bookstore whenever you can. The used bookstore, thrift shops, and other similar type stores are really good for getting books at bargain basement prices. And most of the time, these books are just gently used, and they should be able to survive 1 or 2 more children. Oh, and don't discount what you might find in those neighborhood yard sales either. Regardless of how you build your baby's library, be sure to plan a regular time every day to read to your baby because it is extremely important. And to prove to you how important it is, I want to share with you a study that was done at Ohio State University's Crane Center for Early Childhood Research and Policy. And I'm going to leave you with a list of sobering statistics about reading to your child. In fact, it will probably make you want to run out and buy a whole shelf full of books. So based on certain calculations, here are how many words your child will have heard by the time they are 5. If you never read to them, they will have heard about 4,700 words by the time they're 5 years old. If you read to them once or twice a week, they'll hear almost 64,000 words. If you read to them 3 to 5 times a week, the number nearly triples to 170,000 words. And if you read daily to your child, the number of words jumps to a whopping 297,000 words. And if you read 5 books a day to your child, they are going to hear, are you ready? 1,483,300 words. Did you get that last number? Over 1.4 million words. What a gift to give to your child. And it really is so easy to do, but you must plan to do it and be consistent. And as I mentioned before at the beginning of the video, I had told you about your musical baby class. The music, the songs, the actions, and the stories that we read contribute to your baby's brain development and their overall growth. And the program is also designed to guide you in your daily interactions with your child. Your musical baby class is not just another music class for babies. It is based on the education philosophy of violinist and teacher Dr. Shinichi Suzuki. And Dr. Suzuki truly wanted to deepen the relationship between you and your child and help you to grow and learn together through music. And as I mentioned previously, that's my goal for you and your baby as well. So I would like to invite you and your baby to observe an online Your Musical Baby class for free on any Saturday. Now, I know that you're a busy parent, so I've made it super easy for you to sign up. Just look for the Your Musical Baby class for busy parents and babies link in the description below the video here. Sign up and you'll receive all the details you need to attend the class. And Dr. Suzuki said it best when he spoke of children hearing fine music. He said, if children hear fine music from the day of their birth and learn to play it, they develop sensitivity, discipline, and endurance. They get a beautiful heart. And I don't think he would mind if I modified his quote slightly to say, if children are read great books from the day of their birth and learn to read them, they develop sensitivity, discipline, and endurance. They get a beautiful heart. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you and your baby in the next Your Musical Baby class. Bye now.